Hey, welcome Freedom Fighters.
Welcome Freedom Fighters to tonight's session.
Excellent. So we've got a great topic tonight, 3 reasons to never pay off your mortgage.
Ooh,
now, before we get started,
if you can hear us live, just type in the chat G to G, good to go. If you're watching the live tonight, #live. And if you are watching the replay, #replay. Over to you, Belinda. Tell us more about this juicy topic.
Oh, look, this is quite the topic. So when I hear, I'm sure when most people, when they hear 3 reasons never to pay off their mortgage, they're probably thinking that they're going to go down the bank with demonstrator picards and forks and sitting there going, no more mortgage. That's not what we're talking about. No, it's not what we're talking about. It's actually, it's talking about being smarter and actually having the right strategies and systems behind it. Because look, let's face it, paying off your family home is possibly the longest and hardest thing you'll ever do in your life if you actually get to the point. Because look, I'm going to give you a little bit of a reality. I'm going to give you a little reality slap.
Or just a little one.
Just a little slap. Just a little slap. So realistically, we're going to give you a little slap. So the reality that we've got is, unfortunately, we've been brainwashed since we're kids, and that's going to school. Do you remember when you were in school and they used to get those little piggy banks? Do you remember the little piggy? I was a part of ANZ, but I had friends in another school. They used to get little Commonwealth little banks.
Yeah, Dom account, a common
correct.
Bank yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. So the whole idea is, we've been pretty much brainwashed in the idea that we can save ourselves rich. Guess what? It doesn't happen.
No. And what's that other one? What is it? You buy your house, the white picket fence, marry kids, and then you pay off your mortgage.
Yep. So you go to school, you get your degree, you put a deposit down, and then you spend the next 30 years paying off your loan. I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, I mean, that's a big side. That's a big thing going on here. Absolutely. So let's go back to the original topic, 3 reasons never to pay off your mortgage. So what are we exactly talking about? We're talking about, number 1, we're talking about actually getting leverage. That's
making your money work smarter, not harder. And what I mean by harder,
exactly right.
Working harder, getting your money working smarter so you can work less and live life.
Absolutely. I read this interesting thing. I'll read it out. When you have savings, it's not investing. Actually, when you save, you're losing money. But investing, you're building, you're growing, you're maintaining your wealth, but you need to factor in inflation. And if you're not growing wealth, you're losing it. And you're putting all your money in a savings account, well, that's a sure way of losing money. To become wealthy, you must invest, not save.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an old way, which never gets you anywhere, but then there's the new way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually leveraging. So that's number 1, leverage. Number 2, get other people to pay for your mortgage.
Oh, it's my favourite. And we mean that with the highest levels of integrity.
So how do we do that? Okay, so if you've got a family home, the whole idea is whether you've got a deposit in cash or you're sitting on equity, you're sitting on a pile of money at home if you're sitting on equity. That's like a lazy teenager. So if you've got like a house that's worth 600 and you owe 400, there's 200 lazy $1,000 worth of equity. That's your lazy teenager. You can't go to work all day, bust your buns. You come home, your equity's on the couch. He's playing Nintendo. He's eating your food. He's not paying rent. So what are you going to do with your equity? You've got to put him in a nice suit, give him a briefcase and get him out there. Kick him out into the real world. Get him earning money. So ideally for you've got to look at the ways of being smarter with your money, working smarter, not harder, and actually getting your money working for you, not the other way around. Because the reality is, if you're sitting there with a big mortgage and you've got 30 years ahead of you, I'm sorry, you're doing it the old school way, which is, you know, those little hamsters on a wheel? You're a hamster. I'm sorry. I don't need to offend you. I mean, hamsters, they're cute little gerbils, but...
Look, I was a hamster in a former life.
They make great pets.
Smarter.
They make great pets, but you don't want to be one. So the whole idea is, if you want to get off the hamster wheel in real life, you have to start thinking out of the box. Mm-hmm. And thinking out of the box is creating, obviously, leverage and getting other people to pay for your money. And how do you pay the money towards the properties? And how do you do that? Investing. Now, look, there's lots of ways to create passive income, right? You know, you might have Bitcoin, you might have shares, and those money you make out of it can go in. But realistically, I haven't heard safe as Bitcoin and I haven't heard safe as shares, but I've definitely heard safe as houses.
Absolutely. And
as long as you do it properly.
Correct. And passive income is where you want to start, you know, navigating your strategies towards, because this is money that you're making whilst you're sleeping, eating, you know, everything. It's just that money that's constantly churning in the background, and every property you secure, there's more peace of mind because there's more passive income coming through.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know, it's all about, it goes back to the leverage. But you know, if you've got a family home and you're sitting on all this equity, all you need is a little bit out of it, playing it conservatively, and getting that money into a good investment property that's actually going to start creating tax dollars and cash flow. That is not only going to help pay the property, but then long term is actually going to start. Now, we're not saying we're getting rid of it. We're going to slice a little bit of your mortgage town off, a little bit of mortgage town. You know, slice a little bit of that cake off the mortgage. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what Belinda's saying, by getting other people to pay your mortgage. It is the tax man, the tax benefits if you do it smart and you're buying brand new, and your tenant. So your tenant and the tax man are the ones that are paying down that mortgage for you. Absolutely.
And it's getting the right strategy towards getting other people and other activities to help pay the mortgage. So going back to the original topic, 3 reasons not to pay your mortgage, think of smart ways for other people to pay your mortgage. I mean, come on, that's what we're talking about here, right?
Absolutely.
And look, number 3, if we're going to go to this effort of, you know, getting investments and passive income, you might as well create your own financial wealth as well. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the big picture, you know. Look, this is not a get rich quick. It's slow and steady. But if you can turn a 30-year loan down to 10 years and then create financial freedom on the side as well, mate, that's bonus town. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it's all about. And, you know, financial freedom is, you know, again, it's actually getting your properties working for you, not the other way around.
Yeah. And
because having a mortgage is you're on the hamster wheel and you've got no leverage, you've got no nothing. You get in a good investment property, that's actually going to really start, you know, helping paying. I'm not saying it's going to completely get rid of your mortgage, but it'll definitely take off the pressure. We don't need the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely, Linda.
Absolutely. So there you go. There's my 3. What do you reckon?
If you've got some comments, put a comment in. If you've got a question,
if you've got any questions, I can't seem how to bring this up, but I think we've got Nick who's gone live. He said, "Get the hamster out of the box. Get the hamster out the box. Get him off that wheel." Yeah. Off the merry-go-round, you know. There we go. Perfect. Did you put that in, Charmaine? Oh, no.
No. But look, what I love about Nick's actually one of our members. And
thanks, Nick. Legend.
And I want to put a bit of a shout out to Nick, because he's definitely done getting out of the hamster wheel and more importantly, you know, getting out of the box, because he's had a few brokers that said, no, you know, can't do anything right now. Another one said, wait until you get back from overseas. And knowing Nick, because, you know, he wants a property, he's going to make it happen. He kept shopping around and is currently in the process of getting some equity out and getting ready for his next purchase. So Shout out to you,
Absolutely.
Nick, for not taking no for an answer and sticking to your goals and making it happen.
Absolutely. We've had another one jump in. If you just want to put that little one, I think I jumped in late here, but hearing don't pay the mortgage, but get your passive income to pay for the mortgage. Absolutely.
Well, it's a bit of both. So
it's a bit of both. Correct.
You're getting the tax man and you're getting the tenant to do most of the heavy lifting. And some of your passive income might go reinvest back into the property, depending on interest rates and where they're at. When interest rates are low, you're going to have good passive income that's just going to sit in your offset account. So, you know, when you're looking towards building your financial empire through building a property portfolio, every time you get passive income in the first starting years in your accumulation stages of properties, you want to keep it all in an offset account and keep it safe. You know, 7-10 years down the track, when you're ready to reap the rewards of your fruits, that's when you can start to enjoy your passive income. But in the early stages, when you're accumulating properties, you just want that passive income going into your offset account so that you can keep having more buying power.
Absolutely. And the bigger the offset account, the quicker you pay off your loans, including investment properties and eventually your family home as well.
Yeah.
And then that goes back to the fact that we're getting back to that original answer, which is all about leverage. Leverage. All right. So happy days. You know, look, I suppose it really comes down to, I always get people saying that decision, should I pay off my mortgage or should I invest? And I suppose there's a few things to consider. Guess what your consideration is? What's your goals? What's your big goals financially? That's what you've got to come down to.
And also the other way of looking at it is paying off your family home. Is that going to get you financially freer? Is that going to help you in your retirement? Like when you come to retirement, you paid off your family home.
Woohoo! You've done that.
You now have enough passive income to actually retire on, or are you going to be paying off your home and then, you know, getting onto a pension, which unfortunately a lot of Australians end up doing. Whereas if you start leveraging now, you know, by the time you're ready to retire, if you've worked the strategies to your advantage, you still may have paid off your family home by putting all of your passive income into an offset account against your primary place of residence. So, and I mean offset account because then you're in control of the money, not extra payments to the bank. That's very important strategy as well. And yet still have investment properties that's going to give you that passive income, therefore not needing to rely on the pension. So it comes down to what is your bigger picture, because paying off your family home is not necessarily going to give you the retirement plan that you're going to need to enjoy your retirement, because retirement's about enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, look, I realise for a lot of people out there, for total peace of mind, you know, being mortgage free is certainly, certainly the way they want to go. And we don't deny that at all. But paying off your family home quickly, you know, it really comes down to, you know, it's not a bad thing to crunch numbers and look at opportunities and, you know, looking at creating leverage, because I know that with leverage, you'll get there quicker, safely, but you're also creating, you know, financial freedom as well, which is what it's all about. Darren's just got a question come through. So I need to find a property that gives me more rent than repayment. Absolutely.
Well, yes, no, it depends. So in an ideal world, absolutely. And you will find that there is going to be years where it's going to be, your rent's going to be more than the repayments or your expenses, because the interest rate is so low. And sometimes the interest rate's going to be high and there's going to be a bit of a holding cost. Now, the holding cost is always in flux, you know, based on interest rate, but, you know, your rent is going up every year. And also you're going to think about, you know, even if you have a holding cost right now, the capital growth that property is going to make you over the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, it's going to outweigh any small holding cost that you might have for the first couple of years while the interest rates are high.
Absolutely, 100%. So you got to look at the big picture, you know, and, you know, you don't jump into investing and all that for a quick Band-Aid fix or a get rich quick. It doesn't work that way. It's the slow and steady that wins the race. But the most important thing is actually doing it properly from day one. And I can definitely tell you, if there's anyone out there today that is thinking, yep, I want to get involved in investing, I want to pay off my mortgage, I want to be debt-free, I want to create passive income. Well, I can tell you straight out, going out and buying a property is not always your best scenario, because anyone can buy dirt. But whether it makes money, now that's another thing. So your first investment is actually not running out and buying property, it's investing in yourself and getting educated and understanding the system behind it. So when you do buy that property or you get started, you're very clear and you understand all the steps involved. And that's called calculated risk.
Correct. And look, just coming back to Darren's question again, to give you a bit of an example, Darren, I've got a property right now that's got a holding cost of $160 per week. Now, if I times that by 52 weeks in a year, I'm out of pocket right now for that property, $8,320. In saying that, that property's grown in that 12-month period, $100,000. So when you look at the bigger picture, have I really sacrificed a lot by having an investment, having an out-of-pocket expense of $8,320 in comparison to the $100,000 that property's made? And then when the interest rates come down, I've worked it out. The interest rates for me only need to come down as little as 5.5, and then I'm back to breaking it. But in saying that same property prior was positive cash flow, $128 a week. So I just kept that money in an offset account. So, looking at those small little metrics is the small picture. You've got to factor in a lot of different moving parts to get the big picture, to make sure the property that you're purchasing is the right investment for you.
Absolutely. And look, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. We're not here to sugarcoat it, but what it comes down to is you need the right system and strategy before you go do it.
But you need the right team too, because you can have all the strategies in the world, but you need your support team around you. We have it as, let's say, this is our dream team, as well as the community. This is why we're here every Thursday.
Absolutely.
To help
absolutely. And we're here for the long game. We're here for our members, the long game. So look, if you wanted a body like Arnold Schwarzenegger, imagine having Arnie as your coach. You probably wouldn't miss a session, right? Right. And look, these businesses these days, a lot of big businesses, they're getting business coaches coming in. Even if they can get 10, 15, 20% more profit, they've made their money. Happy days. So what we say is definitely get the right coaches and mentors, people that are actually doing it and people that have got real life results. And one person I can definitely say who's got real life results is Mr. George Markowski. So the owner of the business and CEO. And he's written books. He's on Buy to Build. He's on most major television networks, and he has got the reputation. And look, it's taken him 30 years. He's not a fly-by-nighter. Right, it's taken him 30 years, but now he's earned the reputation of Australia's leading, investor leading advisor when it comes to investing in property. So they're the kind of people. They're the people you need to hang around, so we can get back to our original topic: 3 reasons not to never pay off your mortgage. We want to do it smarter, not harder, kids. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And I think we've come to the end. We've gone over time. So
we're ready to go.
Sorry, guys. Hopefully you got a lot out of that. I think there's a bit of gold nuggets in there. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So
there's gold in them dar hills.
I love it, Belinda. This is what I love about working with Belinda and at Positive Property. It's just always fun and really inspiring and encouraging.
You've got to enjoy yourself, guys, and you've got to celebrate the wins. And, as I said, your first investment is in yourself. Get educated. We're going to actually, if this is really, sparking you, can you please put in #wealth-call? One of our lovely staff will reach out to you and have a little chat on the phone and see if we can definitely help you out. And you may even get a little console with myself and we can have a little chitty chat and let's work out a game plan.
If you said I need help.
Oh, Darren, Mr. Darren Johnson, put in hashtag wealth call, and we'll get one of our team to reach out. And you know what? If you do nothing, you achieve nothing. Stay on the hamster wheel. But if you want off the hamster wheel, you've got to get out there, because if you do nothing, you achieve nothing. And that's all I have to say about that. So we better get into our private group now, our Sherpa. Absolutely. Guys, it was great to have you here. Hopefully you got some really good takeaways for tonight. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel next Thursday. Charmaine, always an absolute pleasure. Remember, hashtag wealth call if you want someone to reach out, and we'll have a bit of a chat to you. Only goes for 10 minutes, and see if we can definitely help you out. Happy days.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Amazing. Have a great weekend.